One day I was having an interview and the interviewer said, Dennis, if you could just relate one thing, I know you have a lot of successful students, but if you just had one thing that would lead to success that you could tell our listeners, what would that be? And I thought for a second and I thought, this is it. I know what it is. If you will form the habit of reading every day, it will change your life. If you read about the right things, if you want to become a doctor, read about doctor things. If you want to become an architect, read about things. If you want to have a successful business, read successful business books and from authors that were successful business people. And then after that interview, I couldn't get that off my mind. I thought, what I said there was very powerful. Wouldn't it be wonderful if there were an app that would help people develop the habit of reading every day? And then I thought, wait a minute, I'm writing this book. Maybe I can change this around a little bit and make this book a tool, something that people can use in order to form the habit of reading every day. So I changed the entire format of the book. And in the beginning of the book is long short stories. In the middle of the book are shorter short stories. And at the end of the short stories, they're just a page. And right after that comes the poems. Poems I've collected over 50 years. And, they're just beautiful poems, powerful poems. And they're poems, some that you know, and there's a lot that you probably have never heard. But they're shorter. And then after the poems, I think there's probably 500 tips, single lines, just one single line, do this, and it'll make your life better. So now with this book as a tool, people can form the habit of reading because people are busy and they don't have time to fit a lot of reading into every day. Well, you have to read a lot every day. It's not the quantity of the reading that's important, it's the quality. So let's say you're waiting on a plane and you've got 45 minutes. So maybe you'll read a long short story. And then later on, maybe you're exhausted one day and you've worked all day long and you hadn't done your reading for the day to keep your habit going. So you've got to, in order to do a habit, you've got to consistently do it and do it and do it. So you're ready to hit the bed and you say, oh, I forgot to read. But in the back of the book are tips. Some of them are 2 words or a single sentence. So you read a couple of tips, you lay your head on the pillow, and you think about that tip as you're sleeping and absorb the goodness of it during the night. So I'm excited about this book because it will change people's lives. I can see grandmothers wanting to buy something for their grandchildren for graduation or for Christmas, something that's going to stay with them and have an impact on them. I can see people in Christian bookstores that want to buy books about motivation. I can see people that love sports because there's some great sports stories in this book, especially if you love college football. You're really going to want to read this book because there's some things in there that you'll really relate to. If you're an author, and you want to write a book that's successful. There's several stories in here about people who struggled really hard and almost didn't make it. One of the people, Agmendino, was on the verge of suicide. And he walked up on a library and started reading self-improvement books. And to make a long story short, he wrote one of the most successful books on business that's ever been written, The Greatest Salesman in the World. So I had an image come to me one day, said, this is what you need to put on the back cover of the book. And the back cover of the book is it's amazing. It talks about Aladdin and his magic lamp, his wonderful lamp, so that when he would rub the lamp, the genie would give him anything he wanted. And on the back of the book, it says, this relates to real life because there is an amulet just like that's in real life that can give you anything you want. And it's this book. If you use this book and form the habit of reading every day, it will literally change your life. So that's all I'm going to say about it. Thanks for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again soon.